Well, hello everybody. It's Laurie-Ann here on this lovely Monday, and we are going to be talking about reviewing this past year, 2019, the past 11 to 12 months, so that we can move forward in the next 12 months. And as always, I'm just going to share this to my page and to my private Facebook group so that everybody else can join in the conversation. So while you guys are piping in and starting to join, love to know where you are watching from. Share to a group. Great. I also do like to share this to my on my personal page. So as you guys just kind of like jump on, I'd love to know where you're watching from, and are you excited about 2020? I mean, it's not just a new year, it's like this new decade also. And I'm going to type in the comments because there's a worksheet that goes with today. And for the next 4 weeks, I'm going to be walking you through my step-by-step process that I use at the end of every year so that the following year, next year, is a huge success. And I've got these worksheets that'll walk you through the whole process. So in general, at the end of the month, you'll have this lovely workbook. It is at speakandstandout.com/2020 guide. So there you go. Hopefully you guys can see that. So we're going to be talking about this past year because from my executive coaching days, I would always tell these executives, VPs, CEOs, that in order to move forward with anything, not just a year, but even a project, maybe you hired somebody that wasn't a great fit, but we've got to look back in order to move forward. In my first book, Rethink Leadership: 4 Lessons to Make You Remarkable, I talk about this also, looking back on like what worked, what didn't work, because we never, if we don't evaluate, most of the time, like we look back on, like we'll learn lessons from the things that didn't go so well. But there's also lessons in the things that did go well. And if we don't look back on those things, we won't be able to take out those lessons and duplicate them. And I also think that there's so many lessons in what works and what doesn't work. So a lot of times, something doesn't go so well and we're like, oh my goodness, this never happens. People never say oh my God, that went so well. I wonder, what are the lessons that I can learn from that? So love to know, where are you watching from? What are you excited about for this month? Because, this is the race is not over. Today's only the 9th. I mean, there's still 21, 22 days left of the month to keep going. So now is not the time to start slowing down. So we're going to be reviewing. I'm walking you through my process that I use with my private clients, that I've used when I was coaching executives and leaders. And it's let's review the past. Let's review the past project. But in this case, we're going to be reviewing the past, 11 to 12 months. So I'd love to know if you grab the worksheet at, speakandstandout.com/2020 guide. There's space for you to answer all of these questions. So maybe if you're in business for yourself, what programs did you offer? What programs did you take? What conferences did you attend? So one of the best ways to go through this process, because you might be you could be like me, I have a tendency to get amnesia, okay? I forget some of the things that I did. So I actually will pick up my phone and go back in the calendar and think about all right, what was on my calendar for January? What programs did I run? What launches, was I a part of? Maybe summits. Where did I speak? Who did I pitch? Like all of these different things. How many people were on my email list in January? Did I run any special programs? Like I know like this past, I think it was early summer or midsummer, I did a sales program, and it was a 4-day program on how to improve your sales. So like that was a huge success. And I loved doing it. So I know I'm going to end up doing it again. So if you are watching this live or you're watching this on the replay, let me know if you were part of that sales training. That was, I'm pretty sure it was like in the beginning of the summertime. And if you yeah, Laurie-Ann, like I'd be so interested in knowing a little bit more about that sales training, because I'm here to be of service to you guys. I want to help you move forward and have an amazing 2020. So I always think of like a new month is almost like getting a new outfit, but a new year is like getting a whole new wardrobe. That's what it feels like to me. It just feels so good to try on something new. But again, let's kind of go through our old wardrobe before we bring in the new wardrobe. So maybe you did some Facebook ads. Did they work out? Did you enjoy doing them? Maybe you hired some people. How much money did you make? What were some of your expenses? Maybe you had some new expenses that sort of came up. Your email list. How many people were on your list in the beginning? And that sort of information you probably can track. I know that I can see that in my, I use ConvertKit currently, and I can see how many people were on my email list, in January. Well, like how many people are on my email list now? Where did the biggest bump come from? I have I honestly never take unsubscribes personally. If anything, I feel like it's fine tuning my list. The people who want to be on my list are going to be on my list. So just reviewing, like, what are all the things that you did last year? Both you ran personally and you participated in, because I participated in a couple of summits and also some live speaking series. So the reason why I do this is because it's really a time to celebrate everything that you did do. And if you're like me and you've got a journal, and this year in January, I got the iPad Pro. I got it because I really wanted this pencil. So I joke with people, I did. I really got it just for the pencil. And I love Notability is the app that I use for all these notebooks and for my journaling. And so now, like, I can go back, to January of this year and see where was I, and all the different things that I did. But it's a great time to celebrate. And I think celebration is something that is missing. And I know that with my private clients, I always encourage them to, like, what can you celebrate? When you make this, like, either a big or a small move, I want to know, like, how you're celebrating that. If you're in my private Facebook group or you're inside In Demand, every Monday it's just like, hey, what are you going to get done this week? But also, like, on Friday, it's always like, what are you celebrating? Like, what are you bragging about? Because I want to give people, and I want to give you permission to brag. So let's make that list, refer back to your calendar so that it'll spark your memory. What are you celebrating? And we've got to make that list. All these different things. Now, don't just do this just for your business. Also do this for your personal. Maybe you took up a new skill. This past year, I would say there was a little too much rain. There was a lot going on in my business. And so I didn't get as much biking in with my dad. And you guys, if you're following me, you know how very important that is to me. And we did not bike that much. However, this past year, I did go to Orange Theory. I joined Orange Theory about a year ago and started going twice a week. So I can, what else am I celebrating? A year of going to Orange Theory and surviving that as well. Let me just say hello to Robin over here. I love that comment about celebrating what I did too. So, Robin, share with me, what's something that you're celebrating from this past year? So, let me just move on to the next step after we've made this long list of all the things that we've done, both in our personal and our business life, is also to look back on it and this is where I want you to say, I'm celebrating that. What did I learn from each of those? What did I learn about myself? What did I learn about the process of doing that? Because this is where you're going to decide, did I like doing this? Would I do it again? Because this is all part of why I want you to look back in order to move forward. So that's the next thing. So first we're making the list. 2, we're going to start abstracting the lessons. What did I learn about myself and what did I learn about the process? And the process can be from beginning coming up with the idea, going through the motions, and then, finishing, and it can be anything from hiring somebody. Right now, I'm in the process of finding somebody to help me with repurposing. I'm adding on a new team member who's going to help me with repurposing content. And so I'm going through the process of learning who exactly does that? What sort of questions, what can I learn from previous hires so that I can use it with this kind of a hire? And I certainly have, I've hired a number of people and have I fired a lot of people? I wouldn't say I've fired a lot of people, but I just felt like I wasn't a good fit. So I'm of that mindset now of hire slow, but fire fast. So what are we going to celebrate? And what did we learn about this? The next step is, what would you do again? Of all the things that you did this year, what would you do again? What was fun? What brought you joy? What was profitable? What was just enjoyable, just to do the whole thing? What was fun? I mean, having more fun and having more joy in your life, the more you have fun and joy, I just feel like it brings more fun and joy into your life. And I was just having this exact conversation with a client of mine earlier today about, I work, I always tell my clients, your main job is to take care of from the neck up. When you take care of from the neck up, working on your mindset and working on, what you're visualizing, what you're mentally, your success psychology, from the neck down will just follow. Does that make sense? So let me just say, let me just read this over here that Robin says she attended a leadership convention. Congratulations, my son's graduation from the Air Force, and I visited with my niece Kim in Texas in March. Ooh, those are very fun things to celebrate. Kristen says she so loved that part of the guide. There was only things that I would not repeat again. 3 things that you wouldn't repeat again, I'm guessing. Robin also says she attended doTERRA convention with her husband in September. Fantastic. I love those. Thank you for sharing. And what would you do again? What would you do again? What was profitable? What was enjoyable? What brought more, more joy? Maybe there was a certain program or an opt-in that brought in more people onto your list. Maybe there are some networking events that you attend that you just love the energy, you love the dynamic, and you've got to meet more prospects. There is a particular event that is local here to me, and it's twice a month on Tuesdays, and literally I wasn't able to go in November, and so I'm still looking forward to going to see these people. I love the energy of this particular group. I have spoken at this group, and hopefully I'm going to be speaking again because I want to help these people. And it literally energizes me. So that is something that is going to be on my list of what I did this year that I completely enjoyed, because I'm going to make sure that I do it again, and we start planning for that in 2020. So as an extra exercise, you can look at all of these things that you did, and I would actually rate them. Rate them on a scale of 1 to 5. 1 being, I just it brought no, just no enjoyment. all the way up to 5. Oh my God, I like absolutely loved it. And if you need a little bit more, if 1 to 5 is not enough, feel free to do 1 to 10. But just like have some sort of a rating system. I'm like looking over here. So after you've rated them, again, just kind of like I want you to journal on this. And I gave you a journal prompt, and the journal prompt is, who did I become this last year? And I want you to look forward, who do I want to become in 2020? I would love for you guys to journal on those 2 questions. Who did I become this past year, and who do I want to become in 2020? Let me just take a minute and look over here. Robin said she did the doTERRA sales training and attended other doTERRA events, such as potlucks and lifestyle events, and all of it in a heartbeat. So I'm guessing Robin, does that statement mean that you would do it all again, in a heartbeat? Is that a big giant yes? And that's great. Gave essential Thai bodywork treatments at the Old Homes Day in Dracut, and others. So I guess those are some of the events that you really, really enjoyed. That's wonderful. And so in order to we wouldn't be able to move forward, because sometimes we will look at okay, so what sort of dreams and goals, do you want to accomplish next year? And we get almost that deer in the headlight look of, oh my God. And that's why sometimes we write these big goals that we have no attachment to, because we're just kind of I think this is what I'm supposed to say, versus let me look back at this year. What did I really enjoy doing? What do I want to repeat? That's why I'm having a look back. What do I want to repeat? What do I want to do again? Because then we're going to take it a step further and how are we going to do it differently? And I'm all for those BHAGs, those big, hairy, audacious goals, because the people that we become when we do those big, hairy, audacious goals, if you've never spoken before. One of my clients this year gave her first presentation, and because she was so well prepared, she came back to me afterwards and said, I wasn't nervous a bit. It's her first presentation. That was a big, hairy, audacious goal for her. And she tells me that this time last year, she was setting some goals for the following year, for 2019, for this year. And one of them was she was going to start speaking. And she started telling people that. And she tells a story much funnier than I do. But she said that people thought that she was crazy because she is shy and just kind of an introvert, just like me. I'm a reformed, painfully shy girl. So let me see what else Robin had to say. She spent a lot of time mentoring my team. Fantastic. Robin, that is one thing that I find people in direct sales constantly say, oh, the company has great training. The company has great videos. But people sign on because of you. So I'm so happy that you spent a lot of time mentoring your team. And you shared my PowerPoints with my team. Would like to share them with others. Fantastic. Oh, I just love some of the things that you're doing. So maybe you're looking for more leads. Maybe you're looking for more profits. You want more clients. You want to feel more confident, maybe in your sales process. I want to offer if those are some of your goals that you're thinking about, because especially since you're evaluating what what worked and what didn't work this year, and maybe some changes that you made. If you're looking to get more leads, you want more sales, you want to be more confident in your sales process, I want you to encourage you to jump on a call with me. I am here to help you, and I want to help each and every one of you, because you have a passion, you have an expertise, and you know me, I want you to be positioned as the expert. So let me just type down here the link that you can book that call with me. Because at the moment, I only have 2 slots open. 2 slots open to work with me privately before my prices go up. And it starts with a phone call. It starts with having a conversation about seeing what is possible. And this is how these phone calls is how I decide, what program you should be in and if we're a good fit. And so let me see if you guys have any questions. If you're watching the replay and you get any questions, feel free just to type them down, because I always come back to these and I revisit and will answer any questions that you might have. But this is just step one. Again, there's a worksheet that goes with this, and then we're going to go into step 2. And you're probably wondering, well, Laurie-Ann, what is in step 2? We're in step 2. We're going to start brainstorming ideas for next year. Brainstorming. This is the exact process that I use with people. And I really want you to spend some time, maybe pull out your calendar on your phone and you just book some quiet time. Book some quiet time in your schedule, like 1 to 2 hours. If you can't do 2 hours at one time, please find like 2 1-hour slots, but put them in your calendar and honor them. Honor them like it's an appointment with a client, like it's an appointment with one of your kids, your spouse. Honor that appointment with yourself. If you have to go somewhere, go somewhere. But you owe it to yourself in order to set you up so that you have a very successful 2020. These are the things that we have to do. We've got to set aside that time so that we actually have dedicated time, because this 30-minute live, it's not enough time for you to start writing everything down and just to start going through your calendar. What did I do in January? Look at some of the appointments that you had. Maybe you I personally use Acuity so I can see how many appointments, how many sales calls, did I have this past year? How many of those sales calls converted? And those are things to celebrate. But you're going to have to sort of uncover some of this information. So I really want to encourage you to book that time with yourself and go through the worksheet, the step by step. Because next week, we are going to be talking about brainstorming some ideas. And I want to encourage you to jump on this live, because we're all going to brainstorm together, because some ideas that you might have are going to spark some ideas in somebody else. And people are going to basically they're going to take your idea. That's a great idea. I want to put that on my brainstorming list. And again, if you are tired, if you're just next year is going to be different for me. I want to start using speaking. I want to start coaching clients. I want to do some group programs. If you need more profits, more leads, and maybe even just that sales process that you are looking to fine tune because you're just I don't have the right conversion. It's just, I'm not converting as many people as I want. I want to encourage you to hop on a call with me. Let's discuss your business and what's possible for you guys. So again, have a great day. And one of the other things I would love to know is type down below, if you are going to, let me know that you booked an appointment with yourself, whether it's 1 hour or whether it's 2 hours. This, these lives are for you, and that's my call to action today. That's the homework assignment, because if you were one of my private clients, this is exactly what you'd be hearing from me. I want to know that you booked it, and I want to know that you're going to honor it. So you guys have a great evening, and we'll see you next week. And if you are on the list to get the worksheets, you will get the second worksheet, which is coming out next week. Talk to you soon.